what's going on, guys? So I've got some miscellaneous clips here that I wanted to show you. In this clip, I'm just kind of going to work with that brush hog again with a 1 ounce weight, trying to get it through the primrose. Not being that successful, so I started targeting the edge here and caught a couple fish, nothing real big. It's kind of neat here because this fish comes up and blows up on the surface here, right there. I mean, if you blink, you'll miss it, but I pitch it right back out there and I get them. So the rest of the video kind of explains itself, so thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked the video.
Not real big, but it's a fish. That was kind of neat because he came up out of the water and tried to grab it, and I tossed it right back over there again, and I don't know if that was him, but it sure did seem like it was him. Throwing a little heavier weight. This is a 1 ounce weight, but I'm still not having a ton of luck getting it through this stuff. I mean, this stuff is really thick. I'm still pretty much limited to the outer one to 2 foot area before it gets too thick to get in there. If you guys can see, you can see all those vines that are in there, and they go all the way down and they get thicker and turn into stalks as it gets closer to the bottom. So it's, like I said, it's next to impossible in 95% of the area that has primrose out here. So but we'll keep trying. I'll tell you what, little guys don't discriminate against the brush hog. Feel bad about it because that gaff hook just tears them up, but in case you guys were wondering, they don't discriminate. Little bass. The B.D.S 2 by Lucky Craft. just slurped it. It's the Booyah Poppin pad crasher. I was popping it pretty hard earlier and started just barely pulling the rod to where it just barely moved the frog in the water, but consequently popped the water forward because of the cupped mouth. I wasn't trying to pop it, I was just trying to move the frog. Nice little 2-pound bass. Jesus. He smashed that. Wow. Was in there. I got him on his tongue. I'm gonna get him back in the water. That water couldn't have been more than a foot deep over there. It was definitely up shallow. I had a hard time getting that hook out because it was in his mouth upside down and it set on his tongue, which, as a point of fact, almost never happens to me. And I'm sure it almost never happens to a lot of frog fishermen. And it seems like whenever it happens, whenever they get the hook on the tongue, it just always bleeds. So I try not to mess around with them too much when they're bleeding like that. Poppin pad crasher. That's that bass I just caught. Proves a point that they'll do whatever it takes to get back to where they were. And this is pretty thick stuff. I released him over here, came back all the way over here, and is pushing himself back over there. So they definitely know where they're going. It's kind of neat.
right, guys. So part of the hazards of having a GoPro is sometimes you will, if you click the top button too quickly to save a clip and then move on to the next clip, sometimes it'll cut the audio. This has happened to me about 3 or 4 times. Unfortunately, it happened on a pretty decent fish here, so I'm gonna have to just talk my way and kind of narrate it through. So this is directly after that last fish I caught, and right about there. That last fish, I wasn't even really going to show you guys. I wasn't planning on it, but I felt like it kind of just tied into this clip here a little bit. So again, just kind of popping that pad crasher, just nice and slow, and trying to get it through that primrose in an area that I feel like it's still, I guess, there's still quite a bit of primrose, but not so much where they wouldn't occupy the space that's in there. I mean, if you look at the primrose where I am right there, you can see that there's a lot of open area, and that's kind of like money area for a bass to hide in. So that's kind of where I'm throwing it, and that's where I'm targeting it. So again, it's a shame that I had to kind of talk my way through it, but I mean, it's a pretty decent fish. This is like 2.5 pounds probably. And they seem to just really dig on that pad crasher. May have been the profile, may have been the popping action on it. I don't know. I didn't throw that fish, by the way. He jumped out of my hand. So pretty good fish there, and popping pad crasher. That's a great little lure, guys.